Do you see this screen in front of your beautiful eyes? It is the Fidelity Probability Calculator, brought to you by Shilly's Viz. But hey, this is going to be one sticking around for because I've got some things to talk about in this one after we look at this very, very relevant Fidelity Probability Calculator. Now, why do I show you this? Well, because if you followed me last year and the year before, sometimes when we look at this, every now and then, you'd get a 68, 78% chance to show up. Now, did it run every time subsequently after? No, but sometimes it did. So it's a way to catch an outlier, and you were going to waste 5 minutes of your life anyway, and in this one, you're actually going to learn something. So stick around. Anyways, we typed in AMC. Now, if the markets were open today, of course, what date is it? Set to the 4th. So if the market was open today, we would have had a whopping 41.24% chance to close above where we did on Friday, which was 13.10. And again, I do apologize for the quality of my microphone because I guess it decided to stop working. And when it rains, it pours. So anyways, the markets were closed today. So let's go ahead and look at tomorrow's trading day and see what we're looking at. Well, what do you know? It's just about a coin flip at 45.98% chance to close above and a 54.02% chance to close below. Now, let's look at AMC's little sister, GameStop. And when it comes to GameStop, this is what I'm going to focus on because I've been waiting a very, very long time to go over this. But first, let's go over the calculator. So GameStop closed at 1842 on Friday. Calculators, well, what do you know, folks? It's another coin flip. 51.74% chance to close above and a 48.26% chance to close below. All right, now that all of that's out of the way, look at the calendar, folks. It's 2023, September. We're heading into GameStop earnings on Wednesday. Now, why is this relevant? Well, I'm going to show you a document. Now, I've brought this up several times on my channel, but back in 2020, on November 16th, GameStop, or not GameStop rather, but Ryan Cohen, the man behind it all himself, wrote this letter to the board of directors for GameStop. And I'm sure a lot of you know this, but some of you may not. And in this letter, I'll link it in the description if I don't forget between now and then, so you can read it. But to find this, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to Google, type in Ryan Cohen GameStop letter. When you type this in, it's the very first link. And upon reading this, you will come across this line here that says the gaming industry is experiencing explosive growth, with the global gaming market expected to be $174.9 billion this year, and this year meaning 2020 when this was written, and reach $217.9 billion by 2023. But he doesn't say specifically when. Then he goes on to, give his plan for the company, so on and so forth, and then you look at everything that's happened between now and then, and it's pretty interesting. Now, take a look at this. Technology is changing nearly every aspect of the gaming world, ranging from the way gamers shop to how they interact and compete with one another. So, obviously, and I've been saying this forever, this is a game of the tortoise and the hare. What we've seen in the last 2.5 to 3 years is all of the hares get, way ahead, and then all of a sudden, now all of a sudden we're catching up because we've just been chilling and waiting and learning and discovering and being patient, realizing what's true and what's not, and waiting for the right time, which has been outlined in this very document the whole time. Now, 2023 is referenced twice in this document, once there and once here. Further down in the document. Now, further down, it says taking the right steps in 2020 and 2021 can enable GameStop to own a bigger share of the market when estimated industry sales explode to more than $200 billion per year in 2023. Now, this is where you have to pause and you have to think about everything that's happened within the last 2 years, everything that has happened with GameStop, everything that's happened with the Fed, the economy as a whole, the global economy as a whole, all this stuff with China, Russia, a lot of stuff's happened in these last 2 years. So we have to take this into account. Now, when it comes to this specific sector, being the gaming sector for GameStop, if you think about where it sits, and as far as its niche in the in the market. This sector, or this quarter, earnings on Wednesday, very well could be, I mean, it has to be, right? The quarter that was predicted in this letter. Now, what do we know about sales when it comes to these kind of companies? They do very, very well in the end of the year quarters because holiday season and so on and so forth. But again, we'll have to take a look and see at what happens with, number one, earnings on Wednesday. I wouldn't do anything before then because, number one, there's a gap at like $17 that they very well could drop the price to that point, but that's not even relevant. What I'm trying to say is they have usually pretty good sales. You know, if that occurs this year, it will carry over into the quarter one of 2024, calendar quarter one of 2024, which is when we saw the explosive growth in 2021, of course. Now, again, this document outlines all of this, right? Saying that technology is changing, that, you know, there's going to be explosive growth, and we don't know if he knew, you know, what was coming down the pipe. If he had inside knowledge, that's irrelevant. But what we can do is we can wait and see, because if they make earnings on Wednesday, if this fucking stock makes earnings on Wednesday and they drop this mofo to 17.16, I am buying shares and calls 100%. I'm not gonna say I'm an ape or anything because that's gay and I'm already gay enough. The whole point is I don't have to be or call myself an ape because I've been waiting this whole fucking time watching everybody, you know, talk about this and that and this and that all fucking day, every day for the last 2 years. I'm just sitting here waiting for this moment right now to see if this man that I've been waiting for this whole time is going to come through and deliver on what he was talking about. Because if not, I've been holding out for GameStop for this one reason, because of this document, because of this moment in time, to see if this motherfucker can come through and deliver on his plan moving forward. And if you look at everything that's going on in the state of the economy and everything with the Fed and everything with you know, ChatGPT and all the developments, I mean, think about all of the tools that have came out lately that are relevant to this sector and industry, AI and all that stuff. I mean, if there was ever a time for this to be a right moment to hit earnings and see some positive growth heading into 2024, it would be right fucking now, right when this document predicted it to be. And you didn't need a Reddit post, you didn't need a Twitter post, you didn't need any kind of post to know this. All you had to do was read this document and wait 2 years, 2.5 years. That's it. Because guess what? It's basically right back where it started. And I mean, it could be something, it could be nothing. That's the thing. It's not a guarantee. All we know is what the data tells us, what the earnings tells us, and yeah, I would definitely pay attention to GameStop earnings. I would not FOMO on calls tomorrow. God bless your soul. But I would definitely pay attention to earnings and consider making a decision depending on the results of the outcome of that earnings call. But anyways, this was an extended version of the Fidelity calculator. Have a good one, folks.